Hello everyone. This is a movie about peace, how I see this. One of the things, if we want to reach peace, is we should respect each other. We should stop. One of the things that cause wars is that we think we're better. Think of the Germans, they thought they were better than the Untermenschen, and look at to what that led. So we should stop thinking that we're better, but we still do that. Look at how we treat the Muslim countries. We always think, oh dear Iran, you should treat your women differently. No, it's none of my business. We should not even believe that our values are better. Okay, I know most white women will say, you don't want to be a Muslim woman there being suppressed. They just have other rights. Try to see it that way. It's not like they don't have rights. The rights are different. I wouldn't like to be a Muslim woman either. Probably I wouldn't like to be a woman at all. But, okay. So, we should stop thinking that we know everything better. And we should stop thinking that it's our right to attack other countries. Like the flimsy excuse George Bush Jr. had to attack Iraq. Look at how much damage that did to the world peace. And very long-lasting damage and the refugee problems we have still as a result of that. Thank you, Mr. Bush. Thank you, Mr. Verhofstadt, to be one of the few saying, you're making a huge mistake, Mr. Bush. But it didn't help much. And why didn't you say the same when they were attacking Afghanistan? Because also that was not defendable. So, we should stop thinking that we must spread our values. We did that the whole history and we did a lot of damage. Look at how we treated the Indians in America and what happened to them. So that's one thing. The second thing is we should look at what is a country. I tend to define a country as a temporary grouping of people living in the same area to organize their life together. Imagine I must construct a road on which I want to drive by myself. It would of course be a nightmare. So we need to organize ourselves. That's what we need a country for. Imagine there were no schools, I need to teach everything to my children, myself. They would not learn anything I don't know yet. Right? So we need to have a country. But I use the word temporary, not by coincidence. Look at history. The borders have always been changing. Then why are there so many countries that put in their basic laws the country is undividable? If I look historically, you see the opposite. Why isn't it like a marriage? If in a marriage one of the two persons say, we want to divorce, there's going to be a divorce. Except if you listen to the Pope, right? So, why isn't the same valid for countries? If an area does a referendum and they want to split, they split. A good example for me is Czechoslovakia, which split in two countries peacefully. They work together, I think they're both happy. Look at Scotland. They didn't want to go from UK, but it was allowed, right? Why, Spain, don't you allow the Catalans to do that? Why don't you allow them to do a referendum already? The result is you put people in jail. The result is some people are refugees in Belgium, right? Because Belgium doesn't punish causing that. That's not very good, is it? And it's risky. You risk, for instance, to have terrorist organizations occur, like the Baski's ETA, like the IRA in Ireland, North Ireland. Is that worth, is a country worth that bloodshedding? I don't think so. Just have a referendum. And then I look at Ukraine. Crimea. There was a referendum held. Okay, you can discuss. Stalin deported the original people there and imported Russians. Okay, but that's a historical fact. Are we gonna remove all the old people that moved through history back to where they come from? I don't think so, and I don't hope so, because we'd have a lot of surprises. So let's live with the situation as is. A referendum was held, the result was very clear, so they wanted to be part of Russia. Accept that, dear world. The same is valid for those two areas there in the east of Ukraine. Instead of saying, Ukraine, one country, accept them doing a referendum. Try to organize that in an objective way. Then probably there wouldn't have been a war. So I think, dear Mr. Zelensky, this is an area where you'd have to give in. A country is not something fixed. That was my message. Thanks for your attention.